Switzerland, and the rest of the world, Supersonic's money transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are, from Kartong to Koina, with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast, and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonic's money transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonic's Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics.
Physiotherapy and Rehabilitation Clinic is the first of its kind in the Gambia. We have inpatient service and outpatient services. Penmore admits patients and they have intensive rehabilitations. That means treatment 3 times a day for 5 days, from Mondays to Friday, and on Fridays they go to their families to spend time with them, to have family. Outpatients come on regular appointments, probably 2 or 3 times in a week for treatment. We treat patients with arthritis, with back pain, stroke patients, fractures or after fracture operation, paralysis of all types, and we do treat both young and old patients. Penmore Physiotherapy gives quality physiotherapy treatments to Gambians because we are qualified physios from different parts of the world.
If you want to receive monies from UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world, Supersonic's money transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are, from Kartong to Koina, with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast, and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonic's money transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to
Physiotherapy and Rehabilitation Clinic is the first of its kind in the Gambia. We have inpatient service and outpatient services. Penmore admits patients and they have intensive rehabilitations. That means treatment 3 times a day for 5 days, from Mondays to Friday, and on Fridays they go to their families to spend time with them, to have family.
It's Jill Art Music. Yeah, but vaccine, vaccine, vaccine. They all get vaccinated before it's too late. Vaccine, vaccine, vaccine. They all get vaccinated. No need to hesitate. No need to hesitate. Before it's too late. Can do love for forcé pour le faju waaye gis garab bañ a faju ku ci dee nga xaaru suñ wareef la pour ñu jóg aaru ndax ñu daan feebar bi lii lee moo raw fa kaaru get vaccinated pour nga aaru from getting COVID aar sa bopp ak sa dëkkandoo ba kenn du si jël ko mooy lu wóor suñ buggee end this pandemic everything they look normal bye bye to COVID
I know some ngole no tatay coronavirus but I know some about kairai di coronavirus jichoji pengu waja pengu berambe nora jakniti penora we virus ai e pengu way free e fimoro jichoji pengu waja berambe nora
Sasa mansilo besa sotono movi mokoi besa sotono fankanta kurto moni buka farano foisi fantanka ye vaccine sonota kamodo lutanka besa sotono
dara porkondara de boyo dara maudo dara pai kunjoni Ndara porto yo jaka Ndara marto ndara basudo Ime pengo den Dande ore men dande fai bebe jaka Gare pengo den Dande ore men dande fai bebe Yandi dande nene Dande baba
Vaccino yinta kura wanyima tumoye fonse vaccino yinta dunia beja kali telefonse vaccino yinta kelele fonse vaccino yinta nyura njol buka balafa abuka saramola komi ko karafa sika jatol le jatamuta jatol konko le kajatafa mola koldum ko balafa kana balan kuma ke solla ko balana dunia beba soronding mo buka dung mo buka ta buka na
vaccine binyuna tawajeliko.
Before I go into that, I just want to introduce members of the high table. On my far right, you have Madam Rose Mendy, working with Home Science Department curriculum. And next to her, you have Khadija Jabate, Head of Home Science curriculum. Then you have Mr. Lamin Job, Officer at the curriculum. Then you have Director Mr. Jeng, Director of Curriculum. And then you have Mr. Lamin Jaju, UNESCO NATCOM, a key partner in what we are about to do. Then here we have our team of technicians and Mr. Sedi, and you have Mulai somewhere, you have Baba, you have Sedi. So welcome to this very important press briefing. You are a very important component when it comes to education and information. And education is everybody's business. And since it is everybody's business, whatever we are doing should also be known by everybody. As you are already aware that we are about to host a very important Continental Conference on Curriculum here in Gambia. The populace need to know about that. Because when we talk about curriculum, it's about the children and what they are learning. That is everybody's business because every Gambian home has a child. Therefore, it is very, very important that whatever we are going to say here, you are going to make sure that the populace know about it. We trust that you're going to do it very well so that you will also be able to be a part of education. So you are welcome. And since this is not a political rally, it is supposed to be a very short and brief whatever. We want you to ask your questions because wherever your news is going to and wherever you're going to speak, you yourself, you understand the issues and you are also able, once you understand the issues, you can write on them, you can talk about them. This is not going to be the end. We hope that this is just the beginning. And most of you are running your programs in your various areas. If you have radios, if you have TVs, feel free to invite us if you want to, so that we can all come and talk about the conference, so that everybody is aware of this conference and the conference is given the attention it deserves. So without wasting more time, we want to move on to Mr. Director Jeng, Director of Curriculum, to give us a keynote address and to also talk about the conference. We can't have any better person to do that because he is the man at the helm of affairs. Therefore, it is just fitting that he enlightens all of us, and then we can now have question and answer, and then Mr. Lamin Jaju will do the closing remarks. That is how we intend to run our show. I'm sure it is not going to be very long because today also is Friday. We are also mindful that we don't want to spend more time here. So thank you very much. Director Jen, over to you, sir.
I also want to recognize the presence of Mr. Lamin Jaju from UNESCO NATCOM, a critical partner in this conference. I also want to recognize the presence of Michelle Mendy, Madame Khadija Tujubate, and Mr. Lamin Job, who is the main man coordinating all the organizational arrangements for this conference on behalf of my office. I want to take the opportunity now that we are closer to the date for the conference and we have sufficient information to share with the public about the conference, which is meant to be held in the Gambia from the 23rd to the 26th of May 2022. The Third African Continental Conference is meant to look at education technology and curriculum alignment in the new era. That is the main theme of the conference. And of course, you have sub-themes of the conference which will focus on curriculum transformation and responsiveness, teacher education and professional development, and learning assessment. These are very important issues around curriculum design and development, and the proper alignment of all these components of the curriculum is a critical issue to look at. The conference is meant to enable participants to reflect on the mismatch between the intended curriculum, the implemented curriculum, and the achieved curriculum. When you talk about curriculum processes, these are issues you need to carefully reflect on. When you are designing curriculum, you have your intention at the design level, but at the implementation level, something else happened. And you need to know what has been achieved in the curriculum processes. The conference will also enable participants to explore the potentials of technology and innovation to enhance curriculum processes and products. We cannot ignore the importance of technology in the curriculum processes in terms of the design and development of curriculum materials, in terms of the implementation of curriculum, and in terms of assessing the achievements as a result of the curriculum implementation. The curriculum conference that we are talking about is co-organized by various partners, including the African Curriculum Association, ACA, the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, Gambia, UNESCO International Bureau of Education, the African Curriculum Association of the African Union, and the Organization of Education Cooperation. These are the main partners that co-organize this conference. And the expectation are that when we hold this conference and share expertise and experiences around the main team and the sub-teams, we hope to achieve a shared understanding of how the mismatch or misalignment between school curriculum, teacher education, and learning assessment affects the quality of education. In Africa and in Gambia in particular, we are all talking about quality education. How do we achieve, how do we put in measures to enhance the quality of education we deliver? This is one of the main objectives of the conference, is to reflect on the processes, the alignment, and how does that affect the kind of quality education we deliver. The other objective will include the recommendation on how to apply technology in the process of aligning school curriculum, teacher education, and learning assessment. Already in the Gambia, we have seen when COVID struck in 2019-2020, leading to the school closures, how as a country we were trying to see how we provide lessons to reach out to students in their homes and in their bedrooms. You can only do that if you explore technology in its proper sense. Various platforms were explored in the Gambia. The use of television and radio, the use of WhatsApp platforms, Facebook, the use of online and offline materials were also put on SD cards and shared with schools. This conference will give us opportunity to share best practices and more experience, in-depth experience in that area. We also hope to investigate the potential of technology and innovation in enhancing curriculum development, implementation, and innovation. Curriculum processes will include the design of the curriculum, the development of the curriculum, the implementation of the curriculum, the evaluation of the effect of the curriculum. These are all processes that will require, at one level or the other, the use of technology or the chance to see how technology use can enhance that process. We also hope to discuss and make recommendations on how Africa can make progress towards hybrid modes of education, learning, and assessment, combining in-person and distant learning. We cannot ignore this fact. COVID has taught the world and Africa, and the Gambia in particular, that you cannot rely anymore on the traditional face-to-face of delivering your curriculum. Because if in case of pandemics like the COVID, in case of conflicts like what recently happened in the Casamas regions, where settlements were affected by the crisis in the Casamas, how do you ensure that that does not disrupt learning? You cannot therefore truly rely on only the traditional face-to-face. We need to look at how we explore various platforms, including the use of technology properly. So this is an opportunity through this conference to share experience, but also learn from paper presentations that are going to be made on these various fields. We also hope that ACA will use the occasion, that is the African Curriculum Association, to elect their new executives. Who are we expecting to attend? We expect everybody to attend, and of course the media, you are critical in this. That's why you are the first participants. This conference briefing that we have means you are already part of the conference from henceforth. But we also expect participants to come from curriculum developers, curriculum implementers, which will include the teachers, the parents, the SMCs, the PTAs in schools, the education administrators in the regions. In the Gambia, for example, we have educational regions who are supervising the implementation of school programs. We have cluster monitors who are also supposed to be visiting schools and support the implementation of the curriculum and programs. We expect teacher trainers to be part of this conference, because as you can remember, I talked about the sub-team of the conference, which will look at teacher training, teacher education and training, and professional development. But we also expect assessment bodies, because if you look at curriculum, you do not fail to look at the alignment between the curriculum development, the assessment of that curriculum, and also the pedagogy, which is the teacher aspect of the curriculum for implementation. But of course, we expect our parents and students, we expect politicians to be part of this conference. You can recall at the National Assembly, we have a select committee on education. And of course, if they are looking at education in its entirety, I think it is a good opportunity for them to listen, to be part of this curriculum conference and share the expertise and experiences that are going to be shared. With this short briefing, I hope that the general public will now begin to understand what is it that we are talking about this conference, which is going to be from the 23rd to the 26th. And I take the opportunity to invite the general public, especially those who did not know about the conference and how to register to be part of the conference. This conference is expected to attract about 250 participants internationally. And because we know that some people will want to be present physically but may be challenged, that's why we are adopting a hybrid mode of conference, which means those who can afford to be present physically will do so, but those who cannot are expected to log on and virtually participate in the conference. It's a 4-day conference. The conference venue is going to be at the Sadauda Kairaba Conference Center, and we expect all of us to be there. Thank you very much.
Amen. Thank you. You have some doubt or you want certain things to be clear. Remember, you are very, very important. You are a very critical key holder, key person in this whole process. Because if you don't carry the correct information, we are done. The information you give out must be very, very clear, and in order for it to be clear, you yourself, if you are going to write or going to relay, must be very afraid with what is happening here. So we want to open this floor and allow you to ask your questions before we continue.
23rd to 26th.
to Thursday. That's
So
4
it's-
days.
Yeah, it's inclusive.
Yes.
Yes. For this.
Meaning that all those that are going to travel will make sure that they are here before the 23rd, so that the conference proper starts on the 23rd. Yes.
I know, I think you still want to do that presentation.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I know the conference has come at a very opportune time for the country, because the curriculum directorate has been engaged on curriculum reform, and the reform of the curriculum is looking at various things. One is expansion of the learning areas, which means, for example, if you have agriculture as it was treated in the past, you go to school, you learn agriculture, but it's general agriculture. But you need to look at how do you expand on that learning area, because in the same agricultural learning area, you can specialize on animal husbandry. You can specialize on horticulture. You can specialize on fisheries or forestry. We have expanded as part of the new reform that we are doing on this curriculum to look at learning areas that need to be expanded, and we do so. But we have also, as part of the new reform that we are currently doing, we have not reached out to the public yet because we are still in the reform process. We have created new learning areas. For example, civic education is a new learning area that is coming on. It's a new subject in the school curriculum, because we really want to see how students can learn about their rights and responsibilities, human rights issues, democratic, and they need to do that so that as they grow in adulthood, they know what their rights are and responsibilities and duties are as citizens. So this is a new learning area that has been created. We are also revitalizing the TVET and pre-vocational educational subjects as part of the reform, because we have seen the need for our students to develop the necessary competencies and skills right from basic education. Because in the past, the concept of TVET was viewed as you go to school, and you complete school, you are not academically inclined, then it's a second option. That is when you begin to see which TVET centers you want to go. No, that's a wrong concept of TVET. TVET should be seen as a very necessary skill that somebody can develop as early as appreciation as early as if in ECD. You begin to like what vocation you want to do, and you begin to look at, if I want to do this vocation in the future, what do I need to focus on? What do I need to concentrate on? If you do not have the information, or you start thinking around that specialization, what will happen is you will graduate at the SSS level, and you begin to think about, I want to become this, and you realize, oh, I should have done this learning area to enable me to become this. And these are challenges that we have seen in the system, and we are trying to correct that through this reform that we are doing. So yes, the conference is coming at this time, but already as part of the reforms that we are doing in the curriculum, we have started doing that. And we are yet to come out publicly and share what we have been doing, because they are still in drafts. and we want to make sure that we have reasonable zero draft that we can share with the public for their comments and input. Yes.
Thank you very much. He also made mention of the dollars.
Well, we have another meeting in the afternoon with the partners that I mentioned who are co-organizing this. It was agreed at that level that anybody participating in this, even the paper presenters, are required to pay $150 their registration fee. And those who are attending online virtually are registering and they pay $50. But the case of journalists, be rest assured that with the recommendation that I'm going to get from Madam Emily as to how many media houses we want to have, I will engage the partners so that we have it gratis or free for those journalists that are coming.
Thank you.
So make that commitment, be rest assured, we will fulfill it.
Okay, thank you very much.
I want to recognize the presence of my boss, DPS Sanyang, who is representing his office, and by that I mean the minister's office, the permanent secretary's office, and also a critical team member of the organization of this conference. So, Mr. DPS Sanyang, you are most welcome. We have just started
DPS,
the
you're
press
welcome.
conference. Thank you.
Let's just allow you to rest. You will begin to have a clear picture of what we are going to do. Because it seems that what Mr. Jeng gave, yes, it's enough, but there are still some gaps. So we want to allow Mr. Joe, who is the action man around all this conference, to just take us through. Perhaps that will help us to understand much better. Because you need to understand.
Some more questions. I like to engage partners, especially the media, so that we are clearer, because you are the people who talk to the public, and it is a good medium or tool to send clear, concise message to the public through the media. And therefore, if you have this question, you're not speaking on your behalf alone, you're speaking on behalf of the teachers and the general public. And therefore, thank you very much for those questions. I want to take the opportunity to tell you that the ministry had in plan, in policy, in all previous policy, including this 2016-2030 policy, intention to use technology to complement the delivery of lessons, which is the face-to-face delivery, because we knew one day or the other, there will be the need, there will be the available resources to facilitate this. We had not taken these things up seriously as a sector due to various constraints, including resources. But when the pandemic struck and schools were closed, and you could not tell when these schools are going to reopen, that means temporarily learning stopped. So you realize that it was not a bad thing to have it as a plan in the previous policies. But we quickly reactivated our intention and commitment as a sector and as a country to say, let's do something about that. However minimal, however small it may be, let's see how we can use technology to reach out to the learners. And that was how we started with the radio programs. We started with the TV programs. We started with those who could afford it, WhatsApp, because some teachers, some schools, and even at the level of the distant learning coordinators, we created, and here, don't underestimate the commitment and interest of some teachers who are really committed. Because I could see a situation, I met a couple of teachers who form groups just out of interest and out of love for the profession and their students. created these WhatsApp platforms, and they were using it to reach out to their students. I take this opportunity to really thank those teachers and applaud those kind of commitments. Be rest assured that the ministry, we may not have all the resources. There is no enough resources in anything, but you can start with what you have. Currently, the ministry is establishing radio stations. There is one just here. After this hall, if you are interested, we will go and show you the one we are opening. You can be rest assured that these platforms, you can use the private radio station and TVs if you can afford the cost. But if you have your own one, it's better, because that way you can now have a proper schedule that you can share with students and schools to know that on this particular day, at this particular time, there will be lesson on this. You can never guarantee that if you don't have your own station. That's why we are establishing our own radio station as a ministry. We are also, if you are aware, the Mobse TV, which we explored at one time. Just here, again, there is that identified room which we want to use as our Mobse TV. That doesn't mean we will still not use the private TVs and radios. No, we will want to use them as much as possible, because the wider coverage and access to every part of this country is our interest. And of course, when resources are available, we will continue to use this platform. It does not mean that I'm making commitment to say we are reaching out to every school or every level. No, we cannot do that. But we have to start with whatever available resources we have right now. And of course, we have small resources to start something. That is what I want to say. And we are not only relying on the radio and TV, we have also started exploring the use of SD cards, so that offline material, because we have already created Island Gambia, I don't know whether you're aware of that, which is an online platform, and all the curriculum materials that we have so far been developing are gradually uploaded on that platform. It doesn't mean everybody is going to have access to it right away, no. But at least even if one person has access, you can also don't underestimate that there are few students, privileged students. That's not our target to say we are only reaching out to the privileged one. We want to reach to everybody. But the fact that you are creating these various platforms means at least one of them will reach out to someone. These are initiatives that I wanted to just tell you that they are already being tested, and we are going to talk more and engage more partners and engage government more to see how we expand the use of this platform. The teacher participation. The Gambia curriculum design and development is using what you call the panel system. When you talk about teacher participation, you are talking about thousands of teachers. Just at the LBS level alone, if you know, we have more than 10,000 teachers. It doesn't mean when you are developing any learning area, all these 10,000 teachers will come. That's why you create what you call a panel system. For every learning area, we have a coordinator at the curriculum. And now, as part of this reform that we are doing, because we have seen the need to align not only the curriculum development, but we want to align it with assessment. That's why in that panel, you will have somebody from the assessment unit to be part of that panel. You also have somebody from the teacher training institution or the inside unit to be part of that. But you have the teachers, practicing teachers, to be part of that panel at the design level. And no curriculum material, no sane curriculum developer will just develop material and assume that it will be implemented. You trial test the material. And there again, teachers are involved in the trial testing of that material. I mean, the teachers who are implementing it, the teachers who are monitoring the implementation, and the teachers who are invited to share the feedback of what that trial material is saying. These are processes. We are not talking about curriculum product. We are talking about curriculum processes. And I'm telling you that the curriculum processes that we adapt as a country is so inclusive, and teachers are panel members of all this. And that's why I said to you that this conference we are talking about today, we are just giving you briefing, because these are the main organizers of the conference. But at the conference proper, teachers will be there. Because all the issues we are discussing around the curriculum, the teachers need to listen, the teachers need to participate, and the teachers need to share their concerns and experiences. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Director. But again, I just want to add, when you go, please, when you go out, just look at it, so that you will know that Mr. Jeng is not just telling you stories. You have Baba behind you, Mulai, and this thing. Just look at their phone. The SD cards he is talking about. You don't come to find out what we're doing. Please, that's a story I want to tell you. Come and find out what we're doing. The SD card does not require any internet. It does not require any data. It does not require any megabytes or whatever. All we need is just to have a phone and put it in. And as we are speaking, we have already piloted it to the hard-to-reach area. Those schools that are off the line, off the highway, we have given to every single child who has a phone or whose parents have a phone. We have inserted SD card. Just turn around if you are ready and check. We are not telling you stories. We're telling you what is feasible. Look into their phones and see how the SD card works. And then you can now pick up the story, come to our area, come to our area where we operate and see how we're doing things and how our things.
Hello, Nancy.
Thank you very much. Does that answer your question? Thank you very much. Any other questions? Yes.
You see, let's be proud as Gambians. Gambia is small comparatively if you look at other countries. The total population of the Gambia is sometimes less than one city in some of our neighboring countries. But it's a very significant country in the sense that we are proud of the achievements. We are proud of Gambia showing examples in various fields. You will know this when you attend in external or international engagement sometimes, and you see how people share Gambia's experience in various fields. We are good at, initiating. We are not only followers, we are good innovators. And I don't need to cite examples, but you already know. The likes of TAF is a good example. The likes of QTV. I'm just saying I don't need to go far in citing examples of how Gambia can be very innovative and how Gambia has good stories and examples that they can share proudly. We are inviting all the 54 ministers in Africa. We do not know whether they will all come. Hopefully they will all come. But if they do not all come, whoever comes is representing Africa. Because when we have this very important engagement on curriculum alignment, on curriculum and technology alignment, ministers of education need to be present. So we have sent invitation to all the 54 member countries. We are making follow-up to see who among them is willing to come. But I know for the curriculum directors, also we have information that the UNESCO Bureau of Education has invited and is providing facilitation for all directors of curriculum in Africa to be part of this conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Jeng. Any other question?
You would realize that the children of the world matters. And that is why we're talking about curriculum, or we're talking about continental curriculum. And why are we talking about continental curriculum conference? If you look at the team, which is also around education, technology, and curriculum alignment in the new era, we're really talking about some of those emerging issues that the director already highlighted. Emerging issues like COVID-19, emerging issues like climate change, emerging issues like under our own very nose in customers here. If they happen, how do we obviously get back to our curriculum and make sure that the curriculum still continues to cater for the need of those children in our schools? That is what we are talking about. And that is what this international or continental curriculum conference is really going to look at. So all put together, that is very key. How do we respond to all this? It's very much important. We need to obviously have plan B. Anytime you have plan A, you should be able to have plan B. So that if plan A is having problems, plan A you are having difficulties in implementing it, you will always turn to plan B. That is one of the things he also made mention of. SD cards being developed, and these SD cards are offline materials. Because we do know that, like somebody made mention of, or somebody asked a question around that, it is expensive. Because we know that internet alone in this country is very expensive, and again, it is also problematic. But then if you have that plan B, which is an offline material, and that is one of the reasons why Auntie Emily is also stressing the need that we do not and we should not only stop at asking questions as journalists, but we should also be there on the spot to see for ourselves, to verify for ourselves what are there and what we are doing as a team and as a country. And then around that, we will also be able to add our own component of it, which is really very much important. You go to all the senior secondary schools across the country, there are big classrooms exactly this time. In all the senior secondary schools in the country. In all the upper basic schools in the country, the same screens are there. Walk in there, you will see them. Why are we doing that? Because we are following the plan B when COVID-19 struck, so that after when we obviously recover from the COVID pandemic, then we will be able to obviously have this as our plan. And that offline material, that is one of the reasons why SD cards are being developed and it is offline and also given to students, and schools also have their televisions that they can equally utilize. So this is what the conference is really going to look at. And one of the areas we will also want to present as a country is our Tibet landscape from the primary, upper, and the senior secondary school. Because already it is in the upper and the senior secondary schools. Tibet education is about skills. It's about acquiring those skills. And it is also about the development of this country. The country is obviously getting into this problem of unemployment simply because there is a mismatch from the findings of our studies between what our graduates are coming out from the school system with and what they are finding in the job market. These are two different things. So you realize that most of the time you are obviously no place to be employed actively. So this is one of our problems as a country. We look around, we see all the examples around us. Now that we are just coming out from quarantine, you go to most of the main markets around here, you will obviously struggle to get this, simply because we know the answer. I'm not going to complete that. So these are the things that we wanted to showcase. In fact, this afternoon, we plan to travel to make that documentary, which is very key and very crucial to be part of the presentations that we're going to make in the conference. On the Tibet, how do we sell out our Tibet? So the new partners that are coming down will be able to help us. Like I said, we are also trying to mainstream Tibet into the lower basic schools as early as grade 4, so that this attitude of the thinking or the perception that it is only for the dropouts, we should go beyond that now, because Tibet is more than that. So we want to create a pathway for those children at that level. We want to create that liking for the Tibet subject areas at that lower level, so that by the time they move from grade 4, 5, 6 to the upper basic and senior secondary schools, then the perception will begin to change. the appreciation will begin to fall in place. And then we will be able to value these skills that we needed as a country, which obviously is the only way out that can move the country forward. With that, that is just a brief one. I will share the presentation with you, and then if you want to use it, you can have it. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Institutional memory is very, very key. You may read all, but there are certain things that are not written. So, Dr. Brahma, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you very
say
much.
a few words before we move on.
Well, yes, all teachers.
I know you. I know.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I feel greatly honored to be given the opportunity to participate in this press briefing on the Continental Conference on the theme Education, Technology, and Curriculum Alignment in the Era. Why I feel honored is that this conference was conceptualized when I was Director of Curriculum. I'm a member of the African Curriculum Association, who is in partnership with the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education. And it was way back in 2019, after the similar conference, after similar conference in Ghana, there was a decision to do the third edition of the conference, first in Malawi, and a lot of countries were push and pulling to host the conference. Then 3 months after we returned from Ghana, the entire executive of the African Curriculum Association turned to me and said, Dr. Jame, I think you have to host this conference in the Gambia. I said, well, I'm not prepared for it. He said, but all the countries that have said they were going to host the conference, we had issues with them. So I went to the permanent secretary and then the minister to inform them, because it's not an individual affairs. So I was able to convince them that yes, we should be able to do it. So this conference was to be done way back in 2019, but because of COVID-19, we couldn't do it. And in 2020, I retired. Even though I was retired, the leadership of the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, from the minister to the permanent secretary to my own colleague, that's Mr. Jeng, who is the current director, they all upheld that respect, and then trust that I could provide technical backup in the organization of the conference. And that's why I remain as part of the technical team in the organization and coordination of the conference. It is a great occasion, and I'm very much delighted because this is very rare. Quite often people retire and then their successors, they're not even in talking terms with their successors. But here I am, I can get into any office. Yesterday I was in the office of the minister, at the office of the director. In fact, sometimes you leave the key with me. Well, do whatever you are doing. So I'm very much part of the team, and I'm very much delighted to be part of the team. And I thank them. That's why I said I want to thank the ministry and the team for definitely giving me that respect, trust, and honor to still remain as part of the conference. In Ministry of Education, failure is not an option. And already I can assure you that in this conference, with what we have been doing, collaboration with UNESCO, the African Union, African Curriculum Association, we are very much hopeful that this conference will be the best so far, because it's the third edition of the conference organized by the African Curriculum Association. So I want to thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you. I know that we have been here for quite a long time, so just want to wrap up so that we invite Lamin Jaju from UNESCO. You will see that UNESCO are our strong partners. Therefore, they are not leaving behind. So we don't want to have a few words from them and then
Is it this morning or still afternoon?
say it anyhow you want to say.
Good morning. Maybe I should say it in Jago.
Yes, or you speak in Manyago and then we move on.
Okay. Good morning, Madam Chairperson. Good morning, Ms. Jang, who is Director of Curriculum.
Yeah.
And the immediate past Director, Dr. Burama, good morning. Adijatu, good morning. And Madam Michelle, Mr. Job, who is a very close friend and a brother. The press, I send our sincere sentiments of greetings to all of you from the Gambia National Commission for UNESCO. Of course, it has been said that we are a key partner in this, but we are not only partners, but we are everything together.
Yeah.
Because mention education, you cannot forget about what UNESCO is doing about education. But it is all possible because of the local partnership. Now, as far as the ACA conference is concerned, we needed to know that curriculum is the software by which educational systems navigate their ways through education. And this can be both in a formal way and non-formal way. And we also are aware that curriculum is a systematic, if you like, and intended packaging of competencies, be they knowledge, skills, and attitudes that are backed up by values, because education without values is nothing, absolutely. So the Gambia being fortunate to host this third Continental conference after it two countries, like Dr. Brahma has alluded to, two countries have failed before the Gambia opted now to host it. They were, I think, Burundi and Malawi. And by all indications, we know that it is already successful, but we never say it is successful until it is all over. But I can tell you that the partnership that Mobse has brought to bear on the organization has already indicated how successful we are at the moment, and we will be, inshallah. There is all the political will, the commitment has been made financially, but also politically, to make sure that this is a success. Now, the reason why we are part of the organization, I think by history, Dr. Brahma is here, Director Jang and DPS. The National Commission for UNESCO has always been part of the organization from the conception to this time that we are talking to you. And UNESCO Institute for and Bureau of Education, based in Addis Ababa, is supporting the commitment of policymakers, but also directors within the sub-region curriculum to attend this conference. And UNESCO Dakar is also participating fully. And we at our own local level have also brought our synergies to bear on the organization. If nothing, I can tell you that we will have a successful conference by all indication. And I am happy that we have commitment from all quarters, because as I speak to you, Director Jang has indicated to me, we even have new partners who have volunteered to come on board. So it is very, very shiny. The future is bright. And we just ask that you share the right information to the public so that they are aware. A little bit of a teaser. When we say curriculum development, like a question was posed here, we tend to think that, teachers don't get involved. But like he outlined to you, you cannot bring everybody to participate in a curriculum development, but you can take a representative of all the partners, key stakeholders, to come on board. I tell you this because I have recently experienced, we did what is called DR infusion into the curriculum. And Dr. Brahma is a consultant, local consultant, and we know that teachers have highly participated in this. And even the parents have been consulted. So curriculum development, no one person can do it. It takes a multi-stakeholder approach to be able to conclude it. But generally, I would want to thank the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education for this forward thinking, because this is also going to boost our image in terms of our educational landscape. It is going to boost our image in terms of what we can do and contribute to knowledge sharing and knowledge development in not only the continent of Africa, but even the whole world. Because if you go online right now, I'm sure you will be able to find something about this conference. And people can come to understudy how we manage and also organize this conference. That is why it is important. And like the director said, the world has given its back to the traditional way of doing teaching. Our own slogan now at UNESCO is learning never stops. So whatever happens, learning has to continue. So I want to thank Madam Chair, I want to thank DPS and Director and your team, and also encourage you on behalf of my Acting Secretary General to say congratulations, but also keep up the momentum. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Jan. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I realized that you said it was supposed to be held in 2019.
Yes.
It's now notifying to say, hello, are you getting the rectification? Yes.
Yes, please make the rectification. It's not 2019.
It's
2020, yeah? May 2020.
Yeah, it was supposed to be May 2020.
So I'm very sorry about it. Yeah, so
it's allowed. Okay, finally, we want to have DPS Joe, who is from the corridor of power.
Sanyan.
We just want to have DPS Sanyan to say a few words, and then we can go. It's not safe to have him here and not say anything. That's going to be very dangerous. DPS Sanyan.
Friends, I want to begin by thanking all of you for responding to our call to share information about this upcoming national event. I also want to thank my colleagues, starting with our senior brother, Dr. Brahma Jamme, my colleague, Director of Curriculum, Mr. Jeng, Mr. Job, the Mobse communication team, the staff from the curriculum department, Madam Jobate and our colleagues. And most importantly, you, the press, members of the press, I want to thank you very much. I want to reiterate what my colleagues earlier said about the importance of this conference. It's a major conference, an international event. We may wish to note that such events cannot be organized or cannot be hosted without approval of the executive. And I want to assure you, it's because of the benefits that the conference will bring to the country, that when the issue was taken to cabinet for approval, it was endorsed without hesitation. The conference is timely, is part of our countdown to the OIC, that we are, any conference now that the country hosts is a warm-up for the nation towards the hosting of the OIC that we all look onto. So one of the benefits is that it will prepare the Gambia, it will test our facilities, it will test our resilience and preparedness for hosting this major international event that is the talk of the town. To do this, we need partners. And one of the most important partners is the press, because we need publicity for the event. We need the people to know what the conference is about, the preparations, the preparedness until the conference is held. And we will continue to engage you immediately after the conference for you to disseminate the outcome. I would say without hesitation that the conference is so timely. Nowadays, Gambians are talking about our education system, but most importantly, our curriculum. People are talking so much about curriculum. Even lay people, are talking, trying to be technicians. And most of the time, what they say about the curriculum is not founded. But the relevance of this conference to our national dialogue on our curriculum cannot be overemphasized. It's an opportunity to have curriculum experts and international partners who support curriculum review development worldwide to converge in the Gambia and discuss curriculum. From the team, you can see that, as Mr. Job alluded to in the prelude of his presentation, that curriculum is not stagnant, it's not static. It has to, it evolves. It has to be reviewed and updated. Nowadays, every year an emerging issue comes. So over the years, since the last conference, this conference will incorporate all the emerging issues and also, make a focus of what else would come. We are fortunate that we will be the first country to host the conference after COVID. How do we, come up with strategies to mitigate any eventuality like COVID? Distance learning. How do we ensure that learning doesn't only take place in the four corners of the classrooms, but ensure that we as member states of the AU have the resilience to overcome any eventuality like COVID. So all these, are just, a few arguments in favor of the Gambia's hosting of the conference. So as I said, we value your partnership, and we want to engage you along the way until we host the conference. So on that note, I want to thank you very much once again for coming over to hear from us, and we hope that you will do what you are very good at, that is dissemination. On that note, I want to thank you very much.
If you want to receive monies from UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world, Supersonics Money Transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are, from Kartong to Koina, with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast, and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonics Money Transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics.
It's Jill Life Music.
Yeah, Vaccine, vaccine, vaccine. They all get vaccinated before it's too late. Vaccine, vaccine, vaccine. They all get vaccinated. No need to hesitate. No need to hesitate. Before it's too late. Can do love for say pour le faire. Why is garab banya fayu kuchi denga kharu Suñ waref la pour ñu jog aaru Ndax ñu daan feebar bi li le mo raw fa kaaru Get vaccinated pour nga aaru from getting COVID Aar sa boppu ak sa dëkkandoo ba kenn du si Jël ko mooy lu wóor suñ buggee end this pandemic Everything they look normal Bye bye to COVID.
I know some ngole no tatay coronavirus. But I know some about kairai di coronavirus. Jichoji pengu aja, pengu berambe nora, jakniti penora, way virus ay. E pengu way free, e fimoro, jichoji pengu aja, berambe nora.
Sasa mansilong besa sotono movi mokoi besa sotono fankanta kurto monie buka farano foisi fantanka ye vaccine sonota kamodo lutanka besa sotono
Dara por condara de boyo Dara maudo dara pai kunjoni Ndara balendara porto yo jaka Ndara mardo ndara basudo Ime pengo den Dande ore men dande fai bebe jaka Gare pengo den Dande ore men dande fai bebe Yandi dande nene Dande baba
Vaccino nyinta Kura wanyima tumoye fonse vaccino nyinta Dunia beja kali telefonse vaccino nyinta Kelele fonse vaccino nyinta Nyukura njol buka balafa Abuka saramola komiko karafa Andi sika jato le jata mota jato Konko le ka jata fa Bimola koldum kwa balafa Kana balang kumake sola ko balana Dunia beba soronding mo buka dung mo buka ta buka ta
Vaccine binyona tawal deliko
jelule lor ña nga nekkal aaral say xarit aar say dëkkandoo dawal gaaw balaa jeex waaw
dégg na mag ñi naan decu na fekk jëf wees dawal gaaw bul toog di xaar lii doy na waa fagaru na gënu maa leen corona bi metti na gaa yi moytu leen
fagaru na gënu maa leen corona bi metti na gaa yi moytu leen
ke vaccine ke Kenya sorondanga military angana mpate nga corona kata ya anakari idada handi do dunasu ya awagambi kari ona corona ke ona kari
Alien yo nene vaccine den ko jelal manu men yo nenen ko emen lady men yimbe men di mimbakilo den niwen o nyaw bondo lady men yo vaccine den ndanyu kura ngo teleno lancho ni mange kilenti ndanyu kura ngo painola ningani yolo mange kilenti bala fabel ngola bala hu balimbe bota fasakile ngola bala hu kanyu kura ngo bay bala fasa bakino bengo dumbala jamali manzai jamali fa anika di malani kura ngola jamali ni bengo jadi sodola malani kura ngola jamali kule ko kodi nyine rangodum malani kura ngola madenni ngola ko vaccine ota sadankani kura ngola
fumne dara doxatut ku ne am soxla bëgg a gis mu faju no hesitation dawal jël commences bul aju lembe aduna besun fit to talk but we can't stay home cause we gotta go to work get vaccinated to knock it out get a normal life back we can't walk it out
Sifuda dali onyao kasali pia ma vaccine wote jabali bone onyao alamona nali kodi ha porte ale ani wadi ha bedo ani sida vaccine nana ko yareno bayna fo nyeti o vaccine jod ko kale yoreno tetindi labi ko dum lon ko feundo coronavirus no wodi onya wono feundi rene ngoremo ko dum don wadi ko be yewti yaga nen bi ko toy legi am nafi yaga nen bi ko har legi exina neñu def li ñu war febar bi je vaccine bi am na fi gën leen manak yow kii keley ñepp war na leen ar mag ñi ak ndaw ñi suñu yaay ak baay fagaru gën faju xam nga loolu ñi mu rey bari nañ mu ci amin
lu waay di ñaan na ci boole wér gi yaram ndax moo lay tax a bànneexoo nit yi dematuñ business yi doxatuñ kenn kafatul dafa mel ni sax time bi léegi sax doxatul soo na noon feebar mooy sa noon waaye du vaccine bi cause vaccine bi mooy garab bi di saafara lii
kura woy anala bori kura woy anala bori doctor ol fan le konkana sila woy alinga pengu doctor ol fan le konkana sila woy mobe pengu kura woy anala bori kura woy anala bori doctor ol fan le konkana sila woy alinga pengu doctor ol fan le konkana sila woy